All right, it's recording. Hello and welcome to the first official episode of Chappy Hour. This is the podcast where we get to chat, have some fun, and it doesn't need to be 5 o'clock to join. Today we have my guest Ananya on. Ananya and I have been friends for around 5 years, and we love to go on adventures together, and I am so excited to have her as the first person as a guest on my podcast. And so, Ananya, before we get started, pretend you're sitting down at a bar and that you are meeting somebody who you've never met before, and they're asking you, how would you describe yourself?
Well, Chloe, if I had to describe myself, I would say that I'm a full-time accountant and a part-time traveler. So I create content on the side by making travel videos, but then I also do accounting as my main job.
She is super talented, so make sure that you check her out on Instagram and TikTok. She's pretty awesome on there. And so we are called Chappy Hour, which is obviously happy hour themed. My name is Chloë Chapdelaine. People call me Chappy, which is where this gets the name. And so before we start, we have to start with a drink. And so today we are starting with Ananya's drink of choice. Tell me what we've got.
So we have coconut water and vodka together.
Real fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So cheers. All right, let's get started.
That's really good.
I really like this. This is one of my favorite drinks.
Okay.
Actually, I said it was Ananya's drink, but I actually picked it out for today. And so don't tell anybody that. But before we get started today, since this is the very first episode, I thought I would give you a little bit of a rundown of our structure. And now this is something that you're not going to find me explaining in the other episodes. And so hang tight while I explain it today. And hopefully it'll give you some clarity for what to expect in the future. But because we are Chappy Hour themed, all of our topics that we're going to go through in every episode are also Chappy Hour themed. And so, of course, I'm going to always start by introducing our guest and their drink of choice. Sometimes it'll be something a little bit more complicated for their drink, but today we're doing something simple. And then we're going to go into our main structure. So the very first topic that we'll do is called I'll Take a Double. And for this, it is a life hack. And so we're going to start every episode with a life hack that has affected your life, changed your life, or that you've heard of and you want to try out. The second topic that we're going to go into is the daily special. And for this, it is what is trending, what you're seeing, if you like it or not, and how you're feeling about that trend that's going on. The next topic is called On the Rocks, and this is the good part that everybody loves. It's the drama, the gossip, the juicy good stuff, where we discuss what we are seeing, if there's drama in the guest's life, or if they've heard of drama online, whatever that is that part. Then we've got Shaken Not Stirred. And for Shaken Not Stirred, what you can expect is something that's got a little bit of shock value. And so this might be something that you learned during the week that shook you up. Maybe it's a fact or a video you watched, but we're going to discuss it in that section. And we're going to end with Bottoms Up, which is what we are obsessed with right now. And that will be the structure that you're probably going to find in every episode moving forward, unless I have to change things up a little bit. And so let's dive in. I am so excited to get started with you today and cue the intro music. Welcome to Chappy Hour. It's kind of like happy hour, but with me, Chloë Chapdelaine, where I catch up with a friend over drinks. It doesn't need to be 5 o'clock to join, so grab your favorite drink, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Cheers. So we are starting with the I'll Take a Double section. And so I have a life hack that I have been using for a little bit now, and it has actually changed my life. But I want you to start with your life hack of the week.
Okay, so for me, a life hack I've been using for a little bit now. I eat toast every single morning, but I don't eat margarine. Just don't like it. And I like to eat real butter. And it's really tough if you leave it in the fridge like I do. Pull out your butter. And if you don't want it to essentially lose its form, you take a tiny bowl or like a bowl that's bigger than your butter. You microwave it for 15 seconds and then you put it on your butter. And then you can just literally take a butter knife and quickly whip it up, put it on your toast, and you can put that butter back and it still keeps its shape.
So what you're saying is this warm bowl softens the butter.
Yeah, just for the second without ruining the whole integrity of the full butter.
When you're heating up the bowl, you said you put it in the microwave?
Yeah, just for 15 seconds.
Do you put anything in the bowl while you're heating it up?
No, nothing.
Wow. And then you put it over top so it's like a dome over the butter? Like a stick of butter?
Yeah.
And it softens it?
Yeah.
And it really works?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can just reuse it every single time, but then like your whole butter isn't like melted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never tried this.
Yeah.
When did you learn this?
Honestly, a few months ago, I saw a TikTok video where a girl was just like, yeah, rather than just leaving out your butter, if you're not the type of person who does that and you like to leave it in the fridge, which I do, she's like, you can just microwave a bowl and put it on top. And she's like, it won't ruin the butter. And I was like, wait, what? And I tried it and I haven't gone back since.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My life hack of the week is something that I also learned through TikTok, and it is called the bed burrito hack. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you've never heard of this, it is a way to put your duvet cover over top of your duvet that is supposed to be faster than traditionally doing it, like where you stuff it in and shake it and wiggle it around, and it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you lay your duvet out flat on your bed, and then you put your duvet cover inside out flat over top of your duvet.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you roll them up together like it's a burrito.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the very bottom, you're supposed to like grab the corner of the inside out part of your duvet. It's super hard to explain without a visual. And you flip it inside out, and then you just unroll it, and it's like magic. Your duvet is fully tucked in.
Yeah.
It's instantly in there. It's unreal. It actually really works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really cool.
We're gonna have to show you that next time.
I'll have to show it to you, but it's honestly, I cannot make my bed any other way right now. And so
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've tried it too.
That is my life hack.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, leading from the burrito hack, which is something I learned through TikTok, I want to talk about something else that I'm seeing on the app right now. And this is something that's trending because we're leading into the daily special section. And this is what is trending right now. Tell me about the orange peel theory.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure like the first video, like the original video was a boyfriend essentially peels like this mandarin, orange, whatever for his girlfriend without her even asking, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like saying that like the whole theory is that like certain men will do things without women even asking, like little things, like it's not grand gestures, but it's small gestures.
Okay.
That makes like a huge difference.
Yeah.
So the video you just showed me, it's like she's a baker, I think, and he got her egg whites because she needs egg whites all the time for her cooking.
Yeah.
And at his work, they always have extra egg whites or something. So he just like...
So he brought home egg whites so she wouldn't have to crack the eggs.
Yeah.
The orange peel theory is beautiful.
Yeah.
I just got chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that it's such a beautiful concept. It's doing something for somebody
small.
Something small for somebody because you know that they would prefer not to do it, just because you know that you care about them and you want to help them in any way, even though it's not a big grand gesture. It's just something thoughtful.
Yeah. It's like, if you're the type of person like who likes to have like coffee every single morning and like you get it from a specific place.
Hamish does this for me. Yeah. Literally, Hamish makes me a coffee like every morning I'm with him. Yeah. He makes me my coffee the way I like it, and he'll even bring it to me in bed.
Aww.
And it's the cutest, sweetest thing, and I love it so much. And
that's so much more appreciative.
I just realized that is like my orange peel theory thing, because in the mornings I'm grumpy sometimes. I don't really want to get out of bed, and he'll make me my coffee first thing in the morning. Oh, that's so cute. Just thinking about that, that's really sweet. He's done that since literally the first time he slept over, he walked. Like the very first time he stayed over, he walked down the street to Second Cup and he bought me a cup of coffee and walked back before I got out of bed.
Aww.
And brought it to me. Isn't that so sweet?
That is so sweet.
And now switching topics to what else we see is trending right now.
Okay, so a trending thing I have seen, which is very seasonal, is that I just saw recently a TikTok of this girl who got this Christmas festive McDonald's meal.
Okay.
Which they have like different types of burgers, they have like different types of desserts.
So can you give me an example?
So they had like a caramel gingerbread, we normally have like the apple pie one.
Yes.
Yeah, but they had like caramel gingerbread chocolate filled, like it was like, I forget what it's called. It's like a Danish almost, right?
Okay, yeah.
It looked so good, and everyone was like, where did you get that? And the girl was like, oh, this is part of the McDonald's festive menu. And I was like, literally, I don't think anyone in North America has ever seen a festive.
Do we have that?
I don't think so. I think the last time we saw something was like the McRib, which is like...
I mean, we have peppermint mochas.
But doesn't everybody get that?
That's true.
Right? Like, we don't get a festive menu. Like, she had
so it's like actual food items.
Yeah, it was food items, and she got a gingerbread latte. She got this like milkshake type things that was also like gingerbread flavored. And I was like, okay, we definitely don't get any of those like seasonal items. So when I was just scrolling, that apparently it's really popular all around the world, except for North America, which I was thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen a new McDonald's item for Christmas.
No.
Right?
That I would absolutely go for
like they have
like
different
a Christmas
variations
McDonald's
of like
food.
burgers.
What would you want specifically? Can you think of something?
Honestly, I really wanted that little Danish because it looks so good, and the gingerbread milkshake. I'm a diehard fan of gingerbread, so I would definitely get that.
Like, what do you think like a Christmas burger would look like? Maybe something with like, I'm just thinking about this right now. Like, what if it had like turkey and cranberry sauce?
So like the girl had like it had brie in it. It had like little bacon pieces, and it was like so it was like
from McDonald's.
But it was McDonald's.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. McDonald's Canada. Listen, I'm your biggest fan and I actually love you so much. So if you're listening to this episode, I just hope you know you've done a lot right. I love you.
Yeah.
And I would love a Christmas menu.
Yeah.
Beyond, you're already nailing it with the peppermint mocha. Have you had one yet this year?
I have.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're nailing it with that. Let's keep going.
Yeah, because we definitely want something seasonal that changes every year.
Yeah.
They get a different one every year. So
Yeah.
they don't even get the same flavors.
What other Christmas drinks have you indulged in yet this year?
That's kind of it. And then the one that you gave me, the white hot chocolate with the chai tea.
Secret menu. I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but if you ever go to Tim Hortons, this is my secret menu hack. I did this almost every day through high school. Maybe this is my life hack.
Is it?
Maybe this is a better life hack than the burrito life hack. If you go to Tim Hortons and you order a white hot chocolate, if you're getting a small, just ask for one chai tea bag and for them to put it in your white hot chocolate. If you're getting a medium or a large, ask for 2 or 3 chai tea bags to be put in it.
Yeah.
But it is actually life-changing. Okay, that's kind of dramatic. But it was
life-changing for me. I've only ever had the basic.
That to me should be a Christmas drink in itself, like a chai white chocolate.
Totally.
And also another thing you can do is if you get like a regular hot chocolate, you can ask for a peppermint tea bag in it. It's amazing.
Ooh.
It's really good, but I prefer the white hot chocolate with a chai tea bag. So everybody loves Christmas drinks and Christmas menus and everything like that, but I think we need to talk about something else that everybody loves, and it is the drama.
Yeah.
It's time to dive in.
Okay.
This is the section called On the Rocks, where we bring up the drama, the gossip, the crazy stuff that's happening, and let's dive in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ananya here briefly introduced me prior to this episode to what it's going to be about, and I was mind blown, and I still don't really know what it is. So tell me about Hoodie-Gate.
Hoodie-Gate is about 2 best friends.
Okay.
Where the first best friend, Kelsey, we'll call her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second best friend, we'll call her Jolene.
Okay.
Where Kelsey actually ghosted Jolene.
Okay.
And she posted a video about why. And it mostly has to do with a boy.
Oh.
So Kelsey has a boyfriend, and she felt that her friend Jolene crossed some boundaries for which she decided to ghost her.
Oh, no.
And so these are the 3 things where she thinks she crossed the boundary. So the first one is Kelsey found out that Jolene put Kelsey's boyfriend on her close friends.
Okay.
Which initially I was like, oh, I don't know if that's that weird, considering, like, you know, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could put Hamish, like your fiance,
mm-hmm.
on my close friends, and I don't think that'd be weird.
Yeah.
But also, I don't really post, like, I don't know, like controversial stuff on my close friends anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't find it weird at all if you put Hamish, who is my fiance, on your close friends. And I think part of that has to do with my trust relationship with Hamish.
Totally.
Because I like, we're gonna get married. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, I'm not at all concerned about his intentions, but also my trust with you.
Yeah.
Like, I know that, like, I think it's great that you and Hamish have a relationship. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't think anything weird of it at all.
Yeah,
that
like,
your intentions are sus.
No, like, I feel like I would never really cross a boundary with
Never.
him, just because, like, that would be weird. Like, you're my friend. To me, you're my priority. Like, he's secondary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Hamish. So, like, for me to put him on close friends, like, I didn't think that was weird. So I was like, okay, like, maybe that's being taken out of context, right? Yeah. And so her second thing was they were out one time. Mm-hmm. Like, they were all out together. And Jolene, like, she was cold. So Kelsey's boyfriend decided to lend Jolene his hoodie.
Okay.
And she kept it for 2 weeks. Which, mind you, this would normally be like, okay, like, maybe it's weird because, like, you know,
they just haven't seen each other for 2 weeks.
Except for their roommates. So she kind of saw her best friend walk around in her boyfriend's hoodie.
So she was continuing to wear it
like
for
around the
these 2 weeks.
house. Yeah.
That's weird.
So that's why I was like, okay, well, that's weird because, like, let's just say it was like scenario with us, right? Like we were out and Hamish was like, oh, you're cold. Like, here, let me give you like my hoodie, whatever. I'd be like, next time I see you, I'd like give it back. Like I would never keep it.
Does she not have her own hoodies?
Well, Case, I'll have to get back to you on that because this is where it gets juicy.
Okay.
And so you think like, okay, the second one is kind of iffy. I totally get Kelsey's point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the third point was Kelsey, her boyfriend, decided to help Jolene put up like mount the TV in her room. And so Jolene decided the next morning that she would make her boyfriend, Kelsey's boyfriend, a sandwich. She didn't make Kelsey a sandwich.
Oh.
But she made the boyfriend a sandwich.
Why?
Just as a thank you.
As a thank you?
Yeah. And Kelsey was like, this was like the last straw. Essentially, she felt like she crossed a boundary. Like she thought it was weird. She almost felt like it was flirtatious.
Here's a question. Did he help set up the TV that morning? Like it was like while
No, it was the night before. But Kelsey and the boyfriend helped
So
her.
they were both there.
Yeah.
but she only made the sandwich for the boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, so that he could take it for lunch like the next day or whatever.
Like she packed his lunch to take home with him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And so, of course, Kelsey was like, I would normally not think it's weird, but she's like, she didn't get me a sandwich.
We need to dive into this because there's a lot to digest.
Right?
What was she thinking?
That's what I thought. And I was like, listen, if you help me mount something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get you something along with Hamish, or it'd be like a joint gift. Like I would never give.
You'd be like, I made these for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never be like, here, Hamish, here's a sandwich. And just be like, Chloe, nothing for you. Sorry.
That's really odd to me.
Okay. And this is where it gets juicy.
Okay.
So she never named names. Kelsey never said her best friend's name or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
But the best friend decided to make a reply video being like, oh, I'm the girl that she's talking about. So Jolene makes the video and she explains her reasoning why. So let's get into that, okay?
Okay.
So she says, firstly, close friends. She kind of has the same reason as me. She's like, well, they met the boyfriend like 2 weeks before they started dating. Okay. And she didn't know that they were gonna end up dating.
Okay.
So they were all hanging out together. So it just seemed normal. And she was like, I didn't even know she was gonna be like.
Okay. So did she add him on close friends before they started dating? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't make it as weird, I think.
Exactly.
Like to me, it wasn't that weird to begin with. But if it was weird, that to me eliminates a lot of the weirdness. Like they were already friends.
Totally.
Cool. Okay.
And I totally got her point. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like if you guys are all hanging out together as a group and then they got together because they had sparks. Totally understandable.
Definitely.
So I was like, okay, maybe I give her that. Okay. And then for the hoodie, so I had to look up what the hoodie looked like because she said that her reasoning for keeping the hoodie was it's just a cool hoodie. Like she's like, it's just such a cool like hoodie. I just wanted to keep it around. And she's like, her reasoning was, I never give back hoodies. No matter who the person is.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
No, to me, okay. I get the first reasoning, close friends. I can deal with that. Okay, thank you for explaining. Second, excuse me?
You just don't give back hoodies?
You don't give back hoodies ever?
Ever.
Is that not called stealing?
Let's be
honest.
And you can't be stealing everybody's hoodie.
Like how many hoodies do you have? And then why do you need somebody else's?
And Kate, this is the kicker. So obviously everyone's a fucking detective.
Yeah.
Because how would they not be? So everyone found the hoodie. The hoodie was a black hoodie with a Nike check mark. That was the special hoodie because she said that hoodie was special.
Stealing that for
2 weeks and walking around
because it was that cool.
Yeah.
Whoa. Literally go into your any Value Village and you could probably find that
anywhere.
Like, anywhere.
It was literally a basic black hoodie. And for her to say that she kept it because it was a special hoodie, I was like, it's just a black hoodie.
That to me, no, that's off.
Weird?
That's really weird.
That's so weird.
I think that does not fly with me. If I were Kelsey
Yeah.
with the boyfriend?
No.
If I were Kelsey with the boyfriend, I would be like, girlfriend, be so real right now.
I know.
Why are you wearing my boyfriend's hoodie?
I know. And like you're watching her walk around and you're like, oh, why aren't you giving it back?
Did she say anything to?
No, she didn't. That's why
So she just observed.
she just kind of observed and she didn't say anything.
Do you think she should have said something?
See, that's where I'm like, again, it all depends on like your boundaries with your friend.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I know myself to know that like I would never do that. But again, some people are oblivious and clearly they don't know certain boundaries. So I feel like there's issues with both friendships, right? Like again, it comes down to like she probably should have spoken out being like, hey, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And then she should have been like, oh shit, like, okay, I'll give it back.
Yeah.
Whereas for her to just be like so oblivious to being like, well, what's so wrong in it? I love black hoodies. You're like, what?
That to
Just
me,
get a black hoodie.
this is my opinion, but that's very pick me energy.
It really was really
Like,
pick
oh,
me.
he gave me his hoodie, so I'm allowed to wear it. Like, it doesn't matter that it's your boyfriend.
No.
Like, that's like,
No.
he picked me over you. Like, I'm wearing his hoodie, but it's like, girlfriend, you're not even dating him. Like,
I know.
like he's taken. That's off to me.
Well, okay. And then her sandwich reasoning.
Okay, explain this
Which
to me.
I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I almost got it. Okay. So she said that I don't even know why the sandwich part is being blown out of proportion. She's like, I didn't make the sandwich. Okay. She's like, she decided she was going to get coffee from this coffee shop early in the morning.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what? As a nice gesture, because she knew like he had obviously stayed over, right? I'm assuming. The next morning, when she went to go get coffee, she was like, oh, I'll just pick up a sandwich to give to him because it's like a nice gesture for mounting my TV. And I was almost like, okay, yeah. And then she said she was going to do something nice for Kelsey afterwards.
Okay.
But obviously, she never did, right?
She didn't want to pick her up a coffee while she was grabbing her own.
Yeah. And so then I was like, I just think this is sus. And this is my reasoning. I just feel like she had every single excuse for like each of the items, like being like, oh, like I was gonna get you, I got your boyfriend a sandwich, yeah, but I was gonna do something nice for you later. But it's like, but why were you gonna do something nice for me later? Why didn't you also get me a sandwich?
Yeah, why later? Actions speak stronger than words.
Yeah.
And I think that that's, to me, what it comes down to. Why were you procrastinating thanking your friend
like
when you're immediately thanking the boyfriend? Yeah. And also, to me, the choice in which she thanked him, a sandwich, I don't know if this is just to me, but like stereotypical wife duties.
I know what you mean.
Like, I feel like that would be like making him lunch to take to school. Like, that is like, to me, like a very girlfriend thing to do.
Totally.
And it shouldn't be expected by girlfriends. No. And it's not what all girlfriends do. Like,
no,
people show love in different
duty.
ways. But like, that to me is what I feel like it could be interpreted as, or as something that she was like trying to be like, I'll send you lunch to go to work with you. Like, I don't know.
And Kate, this is where it also gets more twisted. And of course, everyone's a fucking detective on TikTok, right? So they found out apparently through other mutual friends. And again, this is allegedly. I don't know if it's true or not. But she also had a crush on the boyfriend.
Of course she did.
She said,
are we even surprised?
She said verbatim, I think we would look good together.
Well, okay, why is she just trying to argue her points?
Before, obviously, Kelsey turned him into a boyfriend, Jolene also had a thing for him. So this is where it gets messy because, like, when you find out, like, the backstory, obviously, I'm sure Kelsey got told by her mutual friends that, like, hey, like, she used to kind of like him too.
Yeah.
So like when you add all of those things up, it's kind of like difficult not to see that perspective.
Absolutely. And that's why, to me, it would make sense that she had trust issues when she was explaining that she felt uncomfortable about him being added to Jolene's
close friends.
Yeah. That makes sense if she had a feeling that Jolene was into him.
Yeah.
Wow. So are they still friends? Because they're living together at this point.
No. She ghosted her. Like, straight up. She moved out.
What do you mean?
She moved out and ghosted her.
No.
Like, straight up. That's the...
Like, left?
Yeah.
How does that even work with
So, the whole point of, like, Kelsey's video initially was, like, this is how I ghosted my best friend. And everyone was, like... It was shocking, but you were like, okay, like, I guess it's not... Initially, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, like, that's a really shitty thing to do. Like, why would you ghost your best friend? And she listed out her reasoning, like I said, initially. And I was like, well, it all depends, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, where does the boyfriend weigh in this? Is my question. Like, like,
we need his side.
We need his side. Did he ask for the hoodie back when she was wearing it around? Did he think that was odd?
Yeah.
You know, like, did he say anything? Like, did he say, hey, Jolene, like, I'd love to have my hoodie back, or like, can you get that back to me? Or was he like, yeah, you look good in it? And, you know, like, I would love to know what was going through his head. Or like, when he was given the sandwich, what was he thinking?
And like, you know, if he did anything to like almost lead her on to think that maybe she would have a chance, because, you know, some guys are just being polite, but like, that's like, you know, if you have a girlfriend and like you still like message, like, you know, still DM back girls who like are messaging you, right?
Yes.
So it's like, you definitely need his perspective. Like, what happened to actually lead all of this?
I'd love to know. I feel like we're missing a piece of the story, because we have she said and she said.
Yeah.
And we need the third piece.
We need the boyfriend's perspective.
We need, what's his name? Travis?
Yeah, let's call him Travis.
We need Travis to weigh in. Yeah. Tell us what he's thinking.
Yeah, we need to know how did this actually
because
all
what
go
if
down?
What if okay, no, I'm diving too deep. I was gonna say, what if Travis and Kelsey secretly were in on this together the whole time because they were friends before Jolene, and he dated Jolene out of convenience or something, and that's why she had all these feelings. Well, like, what's going on here?
I know. I'm like, there's no way. If two girls were interested in you, I'm wondering, I'm like, did he like let her down? Like, just like straight up cut her out. You know what I mean? Or was he just keeping like the lead on, and she just kept on misinterpreting and being like, oh, maybe I have a shot kind of thing, which is shitty on her. Like, she's not a good friend. So I totally get, like, if we were going back to the question of like, should you ghost a friend in this situation? Yeah. 100%.
So
I get that.
Yeah. So who do you think was in the wrong here? Or do you think that everybody was in the wrong?
See, I feel like ghosting sucks. She should have just straight up been like, you're not a good friend, and just called her out on it.
Or even just said, hey, can we have a talk about this?
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat, like, cut it before it turned into something where you needed to ghost your friend.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because to me, something I've been working on personally is trying to deal with conflict as it arises before it progresses into something big. And that's not something that I've always been able to do.
No.
You know? And so I've learned a lot through my life of just like, if you have a problem with a friend or something, bring it up before it turns into something that's irreversible.
Totally.
And that's not always possible. No. But like, I feel like in this situation, as soon as she saw that Jolene wasn't giving back this hoodie, she could have been like, hey, I just don't feel comfortable with this, and this is why. Or, hey, can we have a talk about your relationship with my boyfriend? Like, I just want to get things straight.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you have to do like hard things in life, and I feel like if she's like your best friend, this is a hard thing you should be able to do. I feel like there's issues on both sides. Like, one can't communicate, and the other one, I think, is oblivious.
Yeah. Now, in this situation, I don't feel like we can fully blame one person.
No.
But in the next situation, for my next topic, I feel like we can. And we are entering my shaken, not stirred section of the podcast. This is the section of the podcast where we talk about something that absolutely shook us up this week. And it could be a fact we learned or something we watched. And this week it happens to be a video. And we both have seen the video, and so we're going to discuss it with you. It was a very sad video. So what happened is, this is a video that was on TikTok of a Christmas morning, I believe it was, or it was just a very exciting day in this family's life, and there were children and there were parents, and dad is videoing this family's excitement on what looks like Christmas morning, and he is showing these overflowing filled stockings that are just like packed with toys, and the kids are excited and they're laughing, and then he pans over to his stocking and it shows his stocking like packed full, like overflowing, and he's pumped, and then he pans over to this stocking that is limp and laying on the couch, and he picks it up and says, whose stocking is this? And the mom is sitting in the background quietly, and he's like, whose is this? Is this yours? And she said, yes, it's mine. And then he's like, what happened? Like, why isn't there anything?
Yeah, why didn't you get something for yourself?
Yeah, why didn't you get something for yourself? Or something along those lines. And she ended up saying, I guess Santa didn't come for me this year, and giggles it off. And he laughs.
Yeah.
And what happened wasn't a case of Santa not making it. It was a case of,
I would say, weaponized incompetence.
Weaponized incompetence. It was a case of this husband expecting his wife, in my opinion,
to do all the shopping.
To do all of the shopping for the kids, for him, for everyone, Make
herself.
And for herself. Make the magic of Christmas morning happen for everyone but herself. And she laughed about it and she made it seem like it was no big deal, but I felt like there was some pain behind those eyes.
Yeah.
And it shocked me. It shocked me the fact that this husband could laugh something off and this poor mom was probably feeling so much hurt.
Yeah.
And I feel like it opens up broader conversations.
Totally.
And like, what message did you get from this video?
I think that happens with like a lot of women, like whether it's like you're married or you're just having a boyfriend. Like I know when I was in like relationships, like I would be picking out like essentially my present from like the boyfriend, right? Like because they're like, oh, I just don't know what you like. Why don't you know what I like? It's like, I tell you everything all the time.
Yeah, and I had seen some people stitching this video who were women who are saying, I'm sending this to my boyfriend because he needs to know that this isn't okay. Like, he needs to be doing that. And I think that it's good that it can open that conversation with couples of their expectations of each other, because sometimes workload isn't 50-50. Sometimes it is. And it's completely individual to the couple. Like, sometimes people want to be taking on certain loads and sometimes they don't. And that's where compromise comes in. But I think that it goes beyond just splitting things 50-50. I think it has to do with the emotional toll of what it takes to
like, be a homemaker in general.
Be a homemaker and like help the other person feel loved. You know, like if you are in a relationship, should your goal not to help that other person feel taken care of, loved, thought of? Yeah. Like to me, that's the minimum.
Bare minimum.
Like that's a low bar, just like to feel loved in a relationship.
If you can't figure out like what your significant other would want or like for Christmas, that's like...
And if you can't figure it out, ask them.
Yeah.
Like if he had gone up to her and said, hey,
what are you wanting this Christmas?
What are you wanting this Christmas? Yeah. I'm sure she could have said, you know, it might have been an item. It might have been, oh, I would have loved if you would have like helped out around the house more or whatever. Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be an item because everybody's love languages are different. Yeah. But I think that he completely missed the mark here. And I'm glad it's opening these conversations because hopefully it will leave room in the future for people to not have to experience this because they know this is not okay.
No. And I think, and it's also going to help people have like more healthier relationships too.
Yeah. And the amount of people in the comments also that were saying that they related to the situation, that they felt it was like, an expectation to them as a mom to keep these traditions and magic alive in their children while their husband or partner or whoever they were with sat back and didn't do so. It was heartbreaking. Yeah. It just broke my heart and it was shocking.
I know.
But you know what else is shocking? Yeah. We're going to end this episode with the very last section, which is called Bottoms Up. And Bottoms Up is just one thing we are obsessed with right now. And so let's dive in. Okay. My thing that I'm obsessed with right now is brown clothing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is in the brown clothing, but if it's brown, I want it. Like I want brown leggings, brown tops, hats. I don't even wear hats, but I would wear a brown hat.
Oh.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is marketing. Like, I don't know if somebody told me that brown clothing is in, or if I'm just like, all of a sudden, I just love brown clothing.
It could be because like
look, I'm wearing
fall
brown
colors. Because you know what? Like, that's like how like now I'm wanting to get ballet flats. And I'm
not
really
same.
into ballet. Like, I feel like brown colors are right now in, and they have been like ingrained weirdly in like the fashion trends right now.
Yeah.
Just like the ballet flats.
Yeah. And what is one thing for you?
Honestly, right now I'm obsessed with teaching my dog a new trick.
What is it?
It's called the dog selfie. So there's this guy on TikTok and he kind of had an explanation. It's a golden retriever. I'm pretty sure the dog's name is Tucker. Don't know the owner's name. But he'll always be like, selfie, and he does this pat, and then literally the golden retriever just comes and like puts his head down and they take a little selfie together.
That's the cutest thing ever.
So I'm trying to teach my dog that right now.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to show a picture of Ananya and all of her dog taking a selfie together.
Yeah.
But we are nearing the end of our episode, and we're trying to be conscious of time. We're coming up to an hour. And so I just wanted to give a big thank you to everybody who made it through this episode today. Obviously, we're not perfect yet. This is the first episode. But you know what that means? There's only room to improve.
Of course.
And it's only going to get better from here. And so thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. If you want to follow me, you can find me on YouTube at Chappy Hour Podcast, TikTok and Instagram, same thing at Chappy Hour Podcast, as well as on any listening platform of your choice. We're going to be on Spotify, on Apple Music. This is for real.
That's exciting.
Anyways, we are going to sign off. So,
cheers.
Cheers.